Hi, people of the Philippines and people of the world. Hit the button below. And you will be subscribing to the Boy Abunda Talk channel on YouTube. Let's keep talking.
Who are you? Who are you when no one's watching? Who are you when no one's watching?
Hi, Cherie.
Hi, boy.
I look forward to this masterclass. Today, I'm going to learn how to act.
Oh dear. Ito na ba yun? Session. With you, it's hard. It's a jam. We're gonna be conversing.
No, but remember the first time we spoke about this, and I said, no, Cherie, I just want to listen to you talk about the craft. I just want to listen to you talk about your process. I am fascinated by actors. I'm fascinated by you. How do you do things? Why are you so brilliant?
48 years. That's 48 years living and eating and breathing the air. And I myself I can't seem to articulate that as well. And only now at this point of my life and my career, or I should say my life, this point where I feel I have learned so much from many people. I just love it. I just love what I do and have done, and in a way I have this certain loyalty and commitment to the art of acting.
When you say mentoring back, Cherie, ang ibig sabihin ba nun, were you deliberately mentored? Or were you mentored in a way that through the years, sa kapapanood mo sa mga veterano, sa napakahuhusay na mga artista, you were learning, you were observing, you were marking, you were inhabiting them?
It all began, I think, from my mother's womb.
Yeah.
My father, who's also an amazing powerhouse on stage and the presence. So the mentoring, I would say, though unspoken, has already been imposed on us as we were growing up, myself and my brothers.
Let's talk about Cherie Gil, the great. How was it?
So my very first introduction was with Cherie Gil, and my very first day, I remember coming into the set. I arrived 10 minutes late, and she just, hit the roof and packed up her things, and she says, "You're late," and she left. That was a very first lesson I learned. And the one thing I also remember her telling me was, memoryahin mo yung mga linya mo tapos itapon mo na. Kumbaga, let it come from yourself. In fact, recently, I was watching that film because I was able to get a copy of it. And it was a fantastic experience. I remember wearing the magic camisón of Mother Lily, which is supposedly at that time, lucky camisón. Yeah, di ba? You must have heard about that. So,
did you work with Lino?
No nga. That was another regret. Only once on TV. Lino Broca Presents. Yeah. My mom worked with him. Michael worked with him. Yeah. No, I wasn't lucky enough. No. In those days, kasi there was Lino and Bernal, diba? So there were the Bernal babies and there were the Broca babies. So, buti na lang I belong to one of them.
As an actor, Cherie, so you learned as you were living your life as an actor. Is it something that anybody can learn? Is it something that you learn by watching? Is it something that you learn by taking workshops? Your thoughts?
Can it be learned? Yes, I always believe that it can be learned. Why? Because we are only here to tell stories about the human condition. That's why, in effect, at this point in time, I realized it's so meshed together, the world and the art of acting. And what I love about it is that it has turned out to be, aside from therapy, because I can shout, I can scream, I can throw glasses at people in the screen, which I probably could not do in real life. So it becomes an outlet. At the same time, it also merges itself to what real life words are concerned, or situations, or even relationship. When I started also, like I said, Peke came into the picture when he was production designer for Ishmael. there molded a whole new school of thought for acting. He brought in Eric Morris.
You mentioned that Peke brought in the Eric.
Morris method, yeah.
Essentially, what is it?
It's a study of the craft. I don't think he really called it, not wanted to call it method. And I think it was Eric who boiled down to starting again from the self-awareness, to working with the being first, rather than in the imagination and imposition of that external stimuli.
As an actor, do you still report to the set afraid?
Depende.
Depende saan, Cherie?
Director, ka-artista, when I do plays, I'm always on my toes. Actually, it was theater that really broke the mold for me to feel that I'm growing and evolving as an actor.
I want to be able to speak to you about specific projects. Let's go to your film Sonata. This is very special because, of course, of Lori and Peke.
Yeah.
To me as an audience. How was that collaboration? How was that experience?
12 years was when I left the business. And in the 12 years, I was able to see a different life, a different world, and be away. And in fact, it was in these 12 years I learned so much about myself in relation to the world outside of the Philippines. So, have I not gone away, I would not have been able to emanate Regina, nor would I have been able to emanate Maria Callas. It was very close to home because at that time I also was losing my voice in reality. I had to go through an operation and I told Peke, I'm losing my voice. I can't sing anymore. And I think that's also where he was inspired to write the story about Regina Cadena based on a real life non-fiction character.
The great Conchita Gaston.
I love you. Yeah. So there. And we even shot in the Gaston home. So we mixed her life, the reality of her being an opera singer from Bacolod, at the same time my experience of losing my voice. And it was just, and Peke created that character of Regina.
What was your dynamic like with Peke as a director?
Bottom line with Peke, he was like my lifesaver. He picked me up every time I was about to fall. He just knew when to take me up again. From the time when I did Manila by Night to Oro Plata Mata, then Sonata, and everything in between.
You know, I didn't know that you worked with Luis.
Yeah, once.
Yeah, ang bukas ay
Ang bukas ay akin.
Langit ang uusig. What do you remember?
Oh, she was strict.
She was strict.
Yeah, she's strict. She wasn't loving. She wasn't cariñosa. She was, boom, straightforward, strong babae. I mean, come on, boy. During those days, we hardly had women directors. It was just Larissa and Marilu, and it was great. I don't know what it is, but I always have this sense of intimidation when I have to work with women directors. Even up until now, when I did Onanay with Gina Alahar, especially because they're actors.
Talk about you and Gina. You have a very special relationship. I mean, I don't understand the takot, the fear, for example.
Oh my gosh, laki. First of all, Gina is like my ate. She was my brother's wife. I've known her since I was 9 years old. I was part of her movie Kofraja, where she already had her leading role, and I was just a guest. That was actually my very first. You know, I don't know anymore. I'm confused which one was my first. Then I did Onanay with her recently. She was a director. And Nora Honor was a co-actor. So first day pa lang, pagbaba ko ng van, I went to Gina, hugged her. I haven't seen her in a while. Who now at that time was my ex-sister-in-law. May controversy. I hugged her and said, gosh, I'm nervous. And she just said, ako din.
You've worked with Eddie Garcia, El Leroy Salvador, Maning Borlaza. You even worked with Carlo J. Caparas.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, it was my very first award.
Talaga, how was
ever. God saved me. The fact that Carlo is such a chill kind of guy on the set, he gives you a sense of trust. And because of that, he allows you to play. And little did I know that it would come to that point of that kind of freedom that would result to critically acclaimed performance, which at that time made me trust myself more.
Okay. People talked about Cherie Gil and many other actors because of the film Oro Plata Mata. What do you remember?
It was my first experience in learning how to work with the camera. Sometimes when your emotions are all over the place, you forget also the technique of working with the camera.
Okay.
You have to help also the camera to view that what you want to express. If the camera doesn't catch it, no matter how much you cry and break down, then it just goes to nil. So
But
it's in the hands of directors such as Peke who would guide you to know how to manage and work and dance with the camera.
the iconic Manila by Night.
That was my gift to myself.
Why do you
It was
say
a
that?
big gift because this was the first time Bernal set me free. He didn't execute any scenes for me. I guess maybe because I was playing a dyke, which he cannot actually portray on my behalf. Again, Tano was created by Peke. Everything to the detail, the physicality. That's how I learned how much a character can be developed through costume, through the details of the dirt of the hands, through to the plucking of the eyebrows, to short hair, the physicality, also the movements. That was mine, I felt, because I grew up with two boys, with two brothers, and I was a tomboy. So everything I did was based on what I picked up from my brother's antics, from lighting a Zippo lighter like that and talking in the most formal way. And I was at home with Kano.
You were launched on Problem Child with Regal, right?
Yeah, Elwood Perez.
Elwood Perez. How was it?
Ah, my God, that was disaster. That was not exactly fun, but at the same time, it was like, I don't know how to explain that film. A great turning point for me to learn what I was getting into. There were a lot of pains in making that film. 6 months in the making. I was only then 15. There were things that I was asked to do that was contrary to or was opposite to what I wanted to do, but at the same time, I was taking on the challenge. If this is how it is, okay, let's do it. It was a very, very strange period. Up to now, my mom would not want to watch that movie for herself. Yeah.
So now when people talk to you, Miss Cherie Gil as an actor, does it still bother you that a lot of people go back to the second-rate line?
How funny you ask me that now, because I had just done a taping with Daddy's Girl, and in that comedy act, there's always a scene that I have to bring that line up, right? Hanggang ngayon, all my comedy guesting. So Chris Martinez, who's the director, we were chatting and reading, and I go, talaga, pinasok pa rin yan. And then Chris says, palitan natin, alisin na natin, Cherie, anong gusto mo? Anong gusto mo?
Someone is eavesdropping on this conversation and wants to get 1 or 2 or 3 tips on what should one do to be an actor. Just to sum it up, ano ang mga ito?
There are only 5 things I realized that boils down to the one and the same common rule or common value to be an actor.
Okay.
One is to be able to consistently be curious.
Okay.
One is to be able to consistently be wanting to grow. One is to be able to have the ability to listen. And most importantly is to be empathetic, to be constantly to empathize with other humans, because we tell stories of the human condition. And wouldn't that be amazing to also apply that to yourself as a human being? To observe, to listen, to be curious, to imagine, to be able to communicate. All that is so important to be able to deliver as an actor.
Got it. Things a young actor shouldn't do, Cherie.
Drugs.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, save money.
That's right.
Save. Yun talaga. That one thing I will say. It may not be the means to an end, but it is necessary.
Cherie, who are you when no one is watching?
Complex. I talk to myself a lot. I've made friends in this quarantine with all the other people that I am with. I think the bottom line, each day I wake up, the first thing I look at on my phone is if I receive a phone or a text from my children.
No.
So at the end of it all, what happens to become the strongest force in me and the strongest energy is that of being a mother.
Oh. Thank you, Cherie. And I love you.
And I completely love you.
Hi, people of the Philippines and people of the world. Hit the button below. And you will be subscribing to the Boy Abunda Talk channel on YouTube. Let's keep talking.